everyone, so happy Sunday. Y'all, this sun is bright. Okay, there we go. So happy Sunday. I just did a live video. Is that some on my lip? Oh, that's the light. So I just did a live video on Madam Glam's Instagram page, and I did a giveaway on there. So make sure that on every first Sunday of each month that you tune in to either Madam Glam's YouTube channel or Instagram channel for the live video, which I do the swatches and then I end up giving away the collection. So that's what I did today, and other than that I have nothing to do. Like, you guys know that everything. Honey, what's wrong? Yeah, honey, like, every time we get in the car, she gets, like, car sick. And I'm just sitting here, like, she's already, like, slobbering all over the place. So I need to take her inside the house. If you just give me a quick second. I don't know if anybody else that has a car, because I didn't want to be in a house because it's loud, but she gets to, like, slobbering all over the place, kind of like when you feel like throwing up and then your mouth gets watery. I feel like that's what happens, slobbering all over the place. And she when I first got Honey, like, she threw up like maybe 3 times on the way home when we first picked her up. So whenever I took her to the vet, not to the vet, but yesterday whenever I went to get them groomed, like, it's to the point where, like, my pants will be, like, she sits in my lap while I'm driving, and, like, my pants will be, like, wet from her saliva. And then, like, let me show you. So, like, right here, she was right here. See, it's like saliva on the armrest. So does anybody else, like, dog does that? Because I know Sugar, he's never done that, and Sugar is 3 years old now, and excuse me, I've taken him on road trips and everything, and he doesn't do that. So my groomer told me to, like, go to the vet and get her, like, some sort of, who, y'all, that's how you know I'm out of shape. I literally just lost my breath getting out the truck and walking in the house. But my vet told me to take her to the vet and just ask for, like, some nauseous medicine, and I guess I could just give it to her, like, whenever we're, like, gonna get on the road or something. But anyways, y'all, I'm not doing anything. Again, I just got on here because I'm bored and I didn't want to be in a house. I know a lot of us are stuck in the house with this quarantine thing that's going on. Like, all I can do is just listen to them. Why am I calling him? Oops. Okay, I don't know what's going on. But all we can do is just, listen to what they tell us. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I know yesterday that I went live, I didn't expect to get off of live so quickly. Y'all, this light, like, I don't know. But yeah, like, I had to get off so quick. But let's see, someone said, I have a question. Do you recommend that I go to nail school first, or just learn from YouTube and then later go to school so I can get my license? Okay, so when you decide that you want to do nails, like, I do recommend that you go ahead and go to school, because to do nails on other people, you do, yeah, I hate this lighting, like, you do need a license. That didn't make it no better. You do need your license to work on other people. So I would suggest, if you know for sure that it's something that you want to do, that you go ahead and go to school for it. That way you can already be working towards your license. Remember that when you are looking into getting your license for either nails or cosmetology, you do have to go to school for it. It's not something that you can just do online. You actually have to clock your hours. And I know that I said that yesterday, but I just want to make it clear. Because all of this is so hands-on. Whether you're doing cosmetology, you're going to be doing roller sets, you're going to be doing haircuts, and this is not something that you can do online. It's literally hands-on, scissors or shears and comb in your hand, and you actually have to do it. Same thing for nails. So I would suggest just going ahead and going to school. If I know there's people in the situation where they can't afford to go to school right now, so of course in that situation, then yes, just learn on your own for now. But then when you do get the chance, do go to school, because you need that license to be able to do nails on people.
Honestly, I was never really a school type of person. That's why, I'm glad that I went into doing nails, because I hate reading, y'all. Like, that's one thing I just hate is reading. I know it's really good for you. You get to learn a lot, but that's just not my thing. And like doing homework, doing tests, like that's just not my thing. So when I was in school, we did some book work, but it wasn't a lot. Again, it was mostly hands-on. But the workbook that we did do, it was really, really easy. So that wasn't an issue at all. So that's just, I know that was a question about school. Let's see. As far as nail brushes, the brushes that I use are by Alpha Brush. I'll be sure to leave the link down below for you guys. They work really, really good for me. You guys know that I've been using them for a while. They're not too expensive. They're like right in the middle. I used to use other brushes that, like, whenever I first started, I wanted to go cheap. I didn't want to spend too much, so I was buying brushes from like Sally's. And y'all, when I tell you, those were like the worst brushes ever. I don't know if they upgraded now because it's been so long since I last used them, but when I did used to use them at first, they were just so bad. I was literally having to get a new brush every day. So then I started using OPI. Their brushes were like 40 to 50 some dollars. And the reason why I had those was because of school. That's the kind of brushes that came with our kids, because we were using OPI products. And then whenever I started doing nails on my own, started my channel and stuff, I started using Alpha Brush, and I just absolutely love them. I've been using them for a while now, and I really, really do like them. As far as acrylic system, I use Mia Secret. I just recently bought the Valentino acrylic collection, which I really like as well. But as a beginner, sugar, what's wrong with you? As a beginner, you want to use something that's not too expensive, because you're going to be, like, you're just still learning, and you don't want to just use something that's way too expensive, because you're going to be, basically losing, how would I say, you're gonna be upside down. Like, you're gonna be spending a lot more money than you're even making, because as a beginner, you're not gonna really be able to charge for those services, because you're still learning, and most likely the nails are not gonna stay on too long, especially if you're like a barely starting off doing nails. So Mia Secret would be a really good brand to start off with. It's really easy to work with. It doesn't dry too fast. I know other companies, I know, like, for a fact, I don't want to name any companies that I haven't used, but I know Tammy Taylor, don't get me wrong, it's a good company, but or good products, but their products just dry so fast. I know even for me now, it's like they still dry way too fast for me. And I know they have different, like, fast drying, medium, but I guess I only ever used like maybe the fast drying one. But like, I didn't like how fast it dry. But again, with me, a secret, it gives you enough time for you to work with it and smooth it out. That way they're not super thick or lumpy. And of course, as a beginner, you're gonna just go in and just start applying acrylic, not really knowing what you're doing, so you still might get lumpy nails or thick nails, but with practice you get a lot better. And if you guys haven't already looked at my practice sheet, my liquid to powder ratio, that's really the first step to doing acrylic nails, is knowing how much product to use, how much liquid and powder to mix together, or not mix together, but to use to create a nice bead. What's wrong, baby? Let me let him out. But okay, that's like the first steps to doing acrylic nails, is just being able to work with the correct amount of acrylic so you can do good nails. Yeah, it's a big old wasp right here. Oh, I really hope it don't come in the truck. But let's see, what's the next question? Okay, so someone said the 3D white, French white from Mia Secret dries, to me, dries quickly compared to others that I have. Honestly, I have not used the white acrylic by Mia Secret. I don't think I ever used it. I have other brands, and usually I just use my other acrylics with my Mia Secret monomers, so I really, like, don't even know how that one works. Yeah, when it comes to nails, it's all about repetition. I know that I say this a lot, but once you know the steps to doing acrylic nails, it's going to be all about repetition and doing it over and over and over and over again until they come out smooth, until they come out not too runny, not too thick, not too wide. It's just, and like every time you do a set, you're gonna know, okay, like, so that one is a little bit too wide, so let me not let me fall in a little bit more, or that one's too thick, so let me me use a little bit less product. So as you work, you know, and as you continue to do it over and over again, you're gonna see what you're doing wrong. And then even like with my sisters, I know I used to practice on them, and they would tell me, okay, this one's shorter than the other, or that one's too thick, or this one, you know, is doing this or the other. So, you know, I would use that constructive criticism to fix it the next time. So the next time I knew, you know, not to apply too much acrylic or to shape them up, you know, a little bit better. But it only gets better with time. This is not something that you're gonna watch a video and go to sleep and wake up and be perfect at it. It's gonna take some time. Let's see. As far as practicing, okay, so as I stated before, I did the cosmetology program in my high school, and I went every day. It was like 3 hours a day. So I was literally practicing like every day at school. And then also, you know, like I would used to do my little sister's nails. I used to do my nails. So just practice as much as you can. I can't really tell you like, okay, if you practice, you know, this many times, like you're going to get better. It's just all, you know, on that. It just depends on that person. You know, again, how dedicated you are. How much practice you're actually, or how much effort you're actually putting into it. So it's going to be different for everyone. Let's see. Ma, se metió sugar. Métalo. Que tiene calor. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so Shannon said, she asked, how long have you been doing nails and what made you start? Okay, so I started doing nails like in 2012. Yeah, like 2012. And I started doing nails because I used to get my nails done by this one lady. And it was to the point where like I knew exactly what I wanted, whether it was like rhinestones on a full nail, a design on here, glitter, whatever, you know, like I used to tell her exactly what I wanted. And it was never exactly, you know, what I asked for. So then eventually, like every time that she did my nails, I would sit there and watch, and it was to the point where I was like, I can do this. So I told her one time, like, you know, I'm gonna start trying to do nails. And she was like, yeah, you know, if you want, I'll tell you where I got all my stuff at and I can help you. And then eventually when I was finally ready to start doing nails, she never answered the phone. She like, I guess she didn't, I don't know if she didn't want to take me as a client no more, but she just would not answer the phone anymore. I even messaged her like on Facebook and stuff. She never replied. So I took it upon myself to just like, I literally like made a list of everything that I needed. And back then it was hard because I feel like not a lot of people, it was just like, you know, the traditional nail shops that you see everywhere, but it wasn't really nail techs out there. So it was hard for me to basically find all of the supplies that I needed. So I was using like a list from Facebook, or not Facebook, from YouTube, a list from Google that I found, and I was just trying to put everything together to make a kit. And then one day my dad took me to the nail supply store. We bought everything that I needed, and I didn't spend a lot. That's also another thing that I wanted to mention. You know, like I think I spent like, I still have the receipts, and I've shown the receipts in another video. I can't remember which one it was, but I've talked about this plenty of other times. So I didn't spend a lot, you know, like I went cheap with my products because it was my practice, you know, that's what I was practicing with. So when you're starting off, you don't have to get the most expensive acrylics, the most expensive nail table. You know, you have to start low, and then with like, once you finally start actually doing nails, practicing, getting tips, or charging for your services, you use that money to buy more products, better brands, you know. But don't go in spending thousands of dollars not knowing if this is something that you're actually going to stick to, or something that's going to actually work for you. So that's just my advice. You know, you got to start from the very bottom. That's how I started. Don't think that because I'm using Valentino brands and I have the Valentino table and I'm using Madam Glam that you have to start at that point. You know, start wherever you can, whether it's buying regular nail polish, polish at the beauty supply store like I did, buying the cheapest acrylic system from your nail supply store. That's what I did. So you have to start from the bottom. I did use OPI. Someone said they started off with OPI. I actually used to use OPI when I started school, because I started doing nail or practicing nails when I was in the 10th grade. I couldn't start the cosmetology program until I was in the 11th grade. So 10th grade I was using the cheapest little products from the nail supply store. 11th grade I actually started using OPI, which it worked really good for me, but it was a little bit more expensive. And that worked really good for me. And then a little bit before I actually started my YouTube channel, I was still using OPI, but I was getting a lot of lifting. So like even with me, like my lifting didn't really stop until like a little bit, I think it was honestly a little bit before or after I started my YouTube channel. But I know it was when I started using Mia's Secret, because at first it was to the point where I was like, maybe I'm doing something wrong, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just not good enough. And it was to the point where I wanted to stop doing nails, because it was embarrassing, to be doing people's nails and then they text you the next day and they're like, hey, my nail just popped off. And like it was really embarrassing for me, to the point where I wanted to quit. And then I was like, maybe it's just the brand, because I'm doing everything correctly. Prepping, filing, shade, like I'm doing everything like I should have, but I was still getting lifting. So then that's when I decided, it was in between CND. It was in between CND and Mia's Secret. Mia's Secret was a little bit cheaper than CND, so I was like, I don't want to go too expensive, so let me start off with Mia's Secret since it's a little bit cheaper, and then if that doesn't work, then I'll move up to something a little bit more expensive. So when I started using Mia's Secret, I realized that I wasn't getting any lifting, so that's just what I stuck to, and that's what I'm still using now. Again, I do recommend it for beginners, or even for someone that's been doing nails for a while. And even then, at the time when I started using Mia's Secret, it wasn't even a lot of people using it. But yeah, it wasn't even like, nobody really knew what Mia's Secret was. I just happened to find it online, and that's kind of how it went. And I know a lot of people now in my area are using Mia's Secret. I'm pretty sure they watch my videos and that's how they found out about it. But other than that, like, I think Mia's Secret, I don't even know if it's like I know like a lot of the stores that sell it are like, it's a lot of Hispanics that work there. So honestly, I don't know. I know it's made in California, but I'm not sure if it's like a Hispanic owned company. I'm really not sure, but because it's Mia's Secret, so I don't know. I don't know honestly. But yeah, that's how that went about as far as like me using Mia's Secret. Again, I'm still using it now. It works really good for me. It's really inexpensive, so I always make sure that I'm stocked up on it. Let's see, next question. I know I'm going really deep into these questions, and I'm kind of glad that I'm able to, because because it's not as many people on here, I'm actually able to go deep into the questions, because other times like it's like just massive like comments going, and I can't really concentrate because I'm trying to read the other comments. So I'm kind of glad that it's not that many of us on here. Okay, as far as my website, I think I mentioned this yesterday, but I was scared that I was gonna launch my website and then like the post office got closed or something. So I wanted to wait, but I know I spoke to my mailman or mail lady, and she told me that like most likely they're not gonna shut down. She was like, if you have packages that are going out, just have them ready for me, because I do they pick them up from my house. So she was like, just have them ready for me and I'll be there to pick them up. So I'm going to open up my website on the 10th, which is next Friday. Again, I was trying to hold off on it because I didn't want anyone's packages to get lost during this time with a lot of places being closed. I know you guys have been waiting patiently for me, but I was just doing this for y'all. So again, your packages wouldn't get lost. So March 10th, maybe like at 11 or 12 Eastern time, but I'll be sure to post. I'm gonna post about it tomorrow. I'll post on my Instagram and probably on my YouTube. Y'all, it's like a whole bunch of wasps over here. It's like behind my mirror. I don't know if maybe there's a nest in my mirror, because the other day when I was driving and I went to get some food, it was still wasp like flying around my truck. So I think it's a nest somewhere in my mirror. Let me see. Let's see. Uh, Creative, is that by CND? I think it's by CND. Let's see. Miss Dina is Creative by CND. I know, like, as far as school, let me see, what else am I trying to talk about? I know a lot of people asking me about school. So again, I did the high school program, the cosmetology program through my high school. That was free. And then whenever I was in high school, I did the nail competitions through Skills USA, and that got me a scholarship for like any technical school here in Arkansas. So it's a technical school not far from my house, and they happen to have cosmetology. So I used my scholarship. I shut my phone down, and it said that I had to basically let my phone cool down before I could start turn my phone back on. So I know we lost a lot of people. Let's see, maybe I'm gonna wait just a few seconds before I get off of here, because I don't want to end the live and have to start a new one. Okay, let me know if you guys can see me, because I don't want to end this live. I had to go to my hammock in the back so my phone wouldn't be too hot. Let's see. Again, let me know if you guys can see and hear me so I don't end this live. Let's see. Can you guys hear me and see me? Okay, I might just have to end this live. Like, it's saying that my viewers are going, like, they're steady going up and down. So I just need to know if you guys can see or hear me so I can know if I need to stay or start a new one. I'm just gonna end it.